Every child is unique. It's a parent's guide to becoming what your child needs. Hello, amazing parents. Hello, you're welcome. Good day to you. Welcome to today's conversation. It's too high. You're welcome to today's conversation. Yes, I'm in a new location today. I'm in a different location. So every child is unique. This is a parent's guide to become who their child needs. Welcome to today's session. My name is Ruth Ikhabomeh, the founder of the Equitable Parent Hub. So if you are a parent who truly wants to understand your child better and rate them intentionally and raise them intentionally, if that's your goal, this is your home, okay? This is your home and you don't want to do guesswork anymore in your parenting, then you're in the right place. Before we dive in, I want you to do 3 things for me now. I would want you to do 3 things for me. If you are watching me live or you're catching a replay, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already, and then share this video with another parent. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and then share the video with another parent. Welcome. Thank you all for being here, because one insight can change how a child is raised forever. Just one insight is enough to change how a child is raised forever. So every child is unique, like I've said, not just in personality, but in how they learn, how they grow, how they respond and become. Yet, many parents make one mistake. We try to raise every child the same way. In fact, or we even compare our own children to your neighbor's children, to your sister's children, to your siblings' children, to your uncle's children. You just compare them to anybody that you think is doing well. Come closer, let's discuss about comparison today and how you can see your child for who they are and then raise them on that ground. Raise them on that ground, okay? Because many parents are making this mistake, and when the child doesn't respond, you label them. You label them stubborn. You call the child stubborn. You call the child dull. Meanwhile, you are not raising them on their strengths. You're not starting from their strengths. You are raising them from their weakness. You are comparing them to another person. You call them stubborn. You call them slow. You call them difficult. You call them all manner of names because you are comparing. You're comparing them to another person. Hello, I see you all. Like this video, subscribe to this channel if you have not done so, and then share this video. So instead of asking, what does this child need from me? Instead of asking, what does this child need from me? You instead label them and say, child is stubborn, child is this, child. Ask yourself, what does this child need from me? What will fill in that gap that's showing me that this child needs something? Parenting is not about raising a perfect child. That's not the goal of parenting. That's not the goal of equitable parenting. That's not the goal of intentional parenting. Equitable parenting is to raise your child according to on their strength, to raise your child in their strength, with their strength, starting from their strength. That is where you raise your child from, not from their weaknesses, not comparing them. Oh, you are slow, you are stubborn, you are difficult, you just came to frustrate me, you came to torture my life. No, your child came to better your life. Your children are here to better your life. See it that way, okay? It is about becoming the right person for your child. Your child needs you to become the right person for them. Okay, stay with me as we go into today's conversation. It's a very short conversation because what works for one child may damage another child. What works for one child may eventually damage another child. What motivates one child can discourage another child. So that is why you need to study your child. You need to know who they are. You need to understand them. You need to understand what they need, and then tailor your parenting to their needs. What corrects one child may silence another child. In fact, because we are saying not, because when you hear people talking, they will tell you that it's not, you are saying don't flog, don't hit. That is not all children. Some children are very stubborn. The truth is, we have never come down to know this child. How do they learn? Many children don't learn by just talking. You are talking and talking and talking, and you feel that the child is difficult, child is not understanding you. But when you are intentional about this, raising your child, you will become more understanding, and then see your child for who they are, and then tailor yourself to be able to meet their needs, because every child needs you as their parents. So you will not be able to, you will not be comparing them to another person. Okay, thank you for being here. Hi dear, thank you for being here. I can't see this place is somehow. So welcome today. So stop comparing your children. Stop comparing your children. I told us of a story one day. Even I was talking to my child. I was waking her up. So I told her something that was funny. I told her when she was younger, she wasn't like this, and that was a very bad one. We should not be comparing even to their older self or to another person. That is not healthy at all. So we should stop comparing our children. Stop comparing one person to another person. It is not healthy at all. Hi, have have family alive. What about, so your child is not their sibling, not your neighbor's child, not even who you were as a child. Maybe when you were a child, you struggled with some issues. You they told you, oh, when you start doing this, when you start seeing your menstruation, you will get pregnant. So you have that fear as even as you now that you're a parent, and then you are now putting that pressure on your child. You are comparing them to yourself when you were a child. You are comparing them to your neighbor's child. You are what has not even happened because of fear. Because of fear, you start pressuring your child, and then impute what is not even in their mind on them. So stop comparing your child, because they are not another person. They are who they are. So then you should be able to raise yourself and to be able to parent the child you have, not the child you wish you have. So another point in my notes is study your child intentionally. Study your child intentionally. Your child is unique. That is equitable parenting. Equitable parenting is the uniqueness of your child's journey. So what triggers my child? What calms them? How do they learn best? So these are the things you should find out from your child. What triggers them? How do they learn best? Okay? How do they learn best? What makes them feel safe? What makes your child feel safe? These are all the questions you should ask yourself. What makes your child feel safe? So effective parenting starts with understanding, not assumption. Effective parenting starts with understanding, not assumption. So stop assuming. Assumption is the lowest form of information. Okay, stop assuming, and then you are not even intentional about what you are doing, about your parenting. You're just raising. You think you are rearing. Many people say you are rearing. You rear animals. You don't raise rear children. You raise children. That's why you should be intentional about your role, because effective parenting starts with understanding and not just assumptions. Adjust your parenting style. Adjust your parenting style. What worked when your child was 1 will not work when they are 4. What works when your child is 4 will not work when they are 10. So always improve on your knowledge, improve on your skills, improve on your skills. Some children need more structure. Okay, all children need more structure, more emotional reassurance. Okay, more emotional reassurance that you are there, more independence, more independence. Your children need all of that. More guidance. There is no one size fits all in parenting. Okay, your children be able to, even twins, they are very unique. Even the fact that they came together on the same day or in the same hour, in the same minute, does not mean that their personality would be one. No, it is not going to be one. They are unique. Each of them are unique on their own journey. So you have to study them. One of them may be smarter than the other person. One may learn better, may learn just by seeing. Another person may learn in a very unconventional way. So you have to study your child, and then don't do everything. You say, oh, your elder one was not like this. Why did you come and frustrate my life? They call. So sit down and reflect. Not everything that works with one child will work with the other child. The fact that the older one was unique, learned earlier or did something earlier does not mean that this child too will be the same thing. So even if you are even if they are the same sex or the same gender, does not mean that they are going to be the same personality. So you have to study your child, know their triggers, know who they are, so that you can be able to parent them for who they are. Okay, one child may need firm disciplines, firm boundaries. When we say firm discipline, firm boundaries, not that you will not say, okay, that child needs more flogging. The other one, some of them need flogging, some of them need iron hand. No, firm boundaries does not mean iron hand. Okay, it means that you should enforce the boundaries. Enforce the boundaries. You don't have to hit them. You have to just put your foot on the ground and then insist. That is it about firm boundaries. Another child may just need calm explanation and then they will do it. So every child is unique on their own. The goal is not about controlling your child. The goal is to grow up. Growing up requires you to learn about yourself, to learn about your children, becoming aware of your journey, because every child is unique. That child that is giving you trouble is unique. So build the child, not just control their behavior. Build the child, not just their behavior. Build that child that you have. How do you build your child? By studying them, okay? By working on their strength, by starting from their strength. That is how to build the child, not just correcting them. It's not every time you are always dishing out rules, dishing out correction, dishing out instruction. No, you should be able to build your child too, build from their strengths. And then the goal is growth. The goal is always to grow, to study, to learn, to do these things in a way that benefits your child, that gives your child advantages around you, around your environment. Okay, that is the goal of parenting. Your goal is growth, to grow on as you are growing your child. Build the child, not just control behavior. Don't just ask, how do I stop this behavior? You just want to control the child. You just want to stifle the child. You want to control them. You feel they are dolls. They are human beings. Okay, ask, what is the child learning from how I respond? Because you are the first emotional regulator for the child. The child models who you are. Okay, don't be saying, oh, how do I stop this behavior now? What do I do? I need to stop this child now. That is fearful parenting from fear. You're parenting from fear, and then it is not healthy. You're parenting from fear. When we ignore a child's uniqueness, we frustrate them. You are frustrated, the child is frustrated. You are frustrated, the child is also frustrated, and it's at the end of the day, it will not make any sense. Okay, we misunderstand them, we weaken correction, we weaken our connection with them, and connection is the foundation of every parenting. When your child is connected to you, cooperation will be easier, parenting them will be easier, raising them will be easier. So that is what we should seek to do, connecting with our child on their own level, and stop comparing them to another person. Say, oh, your older sibling was not like this. It's about intentionally parenting. It's about intentionally parenting your child, so you don't frustrate them. When you understand them, you don't misunderstand. When you understand them, they feel empowered. Okay, so stop misunderstanding your child. When you misunderstand them, they feel every weight of that pressure you put on them. So try to understand your child and not frustrate them. We weaken their connection, and then we damage their confidence. When you're always comparing them to another person, they cannot stand and face their giants. They cannot stand and do what they are supposed to do, because they feel they are not enough, they are not adequate. Why? Because you caused that feeling. You brought feeling upon your child. So you should be able to raise the child you have, and not the imaginary child you prayed for, or the child your neighbor has, or the child your sibling have. No, parent the child you have. So we damage their confidence. But when we parent intentionally, the child feel seen. the child feels seen, the child feels empowered. That child also feels safe, and safety is the first point of connection. Safety is the first point of connection. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so, and please share it with another parent. So the child grows into themselves. They grows into themselves. Okay? So that is it about seeing your child for who they are instead of comparing them to another person, comparing them to your older child. That is not effective parenting. Effective parenting is parenting the child you have. Your child does not need a perfect method. They don't need a perfect, they need a parent who is willing to learn them, a parent who is willing to learn patterns, a parent who is not just looking at behavior, but has been watching the patterns, and then you are understanding this child. That's all your child needs. A parent that will just lean in and then watch and then be able to see those patterns. Okay, because effective parenting is not about control. It is about connection, understanding, and guidance. Effective parenting is about connections, about guidance. That is where your parenting lies. So stop doing fearful parenting. You are always defending. All you seek for, you try and defend them, and then try to stifle them when they are going beyond your control. Because effective parenting is not about control. If you are a parent who truly wants to understand your child better and raise them intentionally, not just by guesswork, then you are in the right place. Okay, you are in the right place. So this is not just another parenting, but one with insight that can change your child, how you raise your child forever. If this session helped you see your child differently, then don't stop here. Join the Steward Tribals program, where we guide parents step by step on how to raise emotionally balanced, responsible, and confident children. We are currently onboarding parents in the community, and we would love to work with you. Love to work with you. Book your slot and be part of our transformation, because parenting is not something we get. Parenting is not something we get. Parenting is not something we do on autopilot from fear. Many parents raise their children from fear. They're always fearful. Oh, it's not even the things that your child will do right now that is the problem most times. It is from your fear. Oh, what will this child become? What will people say? How people see me? That is what you are thinking about. But when you want to be intentional about these things, you would see your child for who they are, and then you are thinking of the bigger picture. You would think of the bigger picture, not just something, not just the immediate picture, not something that just happens. No, you think and then be able to know that these things are not emergency. These things is a long time journey. It's a legacy work. Okay, it's not just about the child's behavior for today. It is a legacy work. So you'll be intentional about it, because parenting is not something we guess. It is something we learn. It is something we practice and grow in. Parenting is something you grow into. So stop telling yourself that parenting did not stay in your whites. That parenting, you are now ready to apply yourself into the parenting. You just cause more harm. You cause frustration to your children, which is not healthy. You should be able to apply yourself in parenting, because parenting is legacy work. It's not about you. It's not just about your child. It is about your future generations to come. Because whatever you do, you are passing the baton on. You are passing the baton to your child. Your child will also pass the baton. So what are you passing? What are you passing? Are you just there loafing? You are just unaware of what you are doing, comparing them to this person, comparing them to that person. You don't even know who your child is. So you should be able to study your child, study the patterns, and then so that you can guide them on who they are, on who they need you to be for them. So that is effective parenting. Thank you all for being here. See you again next time, and see you in the tribe. Please book your slot and join us in the program. This is not what Steward Tribals program. This is not. It is a thorough work. Okay, the program is a thorough work on you. Parenting is first of all about you being able to lead yourself, because you can before you can be able to effectively lead your child. So that is why we are here. That is why we created the Steward Tribals program, for you to learn about this journey, for you to learn, so that you would not keep frustrating, keep breaking your child up, bleeding on the child that never hurt him. I really appreciate it. I'm glad you all are here today to join me. See you again same time next week, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video, and then I would like to see you in the tribe so that we can work together. Bye.